feeling that music, going with it, feeling it. Now, if your goal is to improve your sight reading, then of course, keep reading your sheet music. Read as much as you can. In the 10, 20 pieces that you're going to learn this year, really try and just push that reading even more. You know what they say, practice makes perfect. You want to get better at sight reading? Read more pieces. Get out those beginner books, get out those intermediate books. Start somewhere that is not overly difficult for you. Try and read as much as you can. Get familiar with key signatures. Get familiar with chord patterns. You can check out my sight reading video. I'll link it up here so you can click on that. A good tip I have for you is whatever grade you currently are in piano, if you take away 2 or 3 grades down, let's say you are right now in grade 5, and if I take away 2 or 3 grades, that means it's grade 3 or grade 2. If you're in grade 5 and you can sight read grade 2 or 3 pieces reasonably well, you make a couple of mistakes here and there, it's alright, but you can generally keep the beat of the music going. That is pretty good, okay? If you cannot do that, if I put a grade, let's say 2 piece in front of you and you're grade 5, and you just could not for the life of yourself play through the piece in some sort of reasonable fashion, then you probably need to get your sight reading chops up. Sight reading is a tricky topic. It requires a lot of patience. It requires a lot of practice. Start from those beginner books and work your way up if you are just not a sight reader. Personally, I've always been more of a memorizer than a sight reader. When I was younger, my mum told me that I would listen to a song once or twice, and immediately I was able to sing the tune perfectly because my brain just made so much sense of it orally. What that meant though was my sight reading was not as good as I would have liked it to be throughout my childhood because I always relied on memorizing music. Good in some ways, not good in some other ways. I wish my teacher would have been able to help me more with my sight reading because as you constantly improve in your piano progress and your piano technique, the pieces you play are going to get harder. And if your sight reading is not at the level at which you can play those pieces, you're going to really take a hit to your piano progress. You're not going to increase at the level that you want to. Similarly, if you only know how to sight read music and you have no memorization techniques, chances are you're not going to be able to play those really, really high-end complex pieces. Really, really fast pieces require you to memorize pieces. There's so many notes and there's so many things going on in the pieces that it's just physically impossible to make sense of the 20 notes that you've got to play at one go. You've just got to be able to have some sort of skills in your brain to make sense of different chord patterns, different running notes. So if you're a big reader, also work on your memorization techniques. So the simple answer is, as a pianist, you want to be great at both of these. You want to be great both at reading music as well as memorizing music. Often students tend to rely on one or the other because every brain is different, every brain is unique. Identify which one you're good at and then start to work on that other area so you grow and develop as a very balanced pianist. Do you prefer to memorize your music or do you prefer to read sheet music? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to chat with you there. My name is Jaza. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you in the next tutorial.
Джейсон.
Согласитесь, непривычно, когда вам не пытаются что-то впарить с первых секунд видео. Меня зовут Владимир Курей, я Head of Internet Marketing. Do you find sight reading challenging? Are you curious on how how you can actually improve your sight reading so you actually get to play the music faster. Hi, I'm Jason. I'm here to give you 3 tips on how you can improve your piano sight reading. Let's get to it. Hi guys, my name is Jaza. I play the piano, and in this tutorial I'm going to teach you what are some left-hand chord patterns you can do. Let's say you already know how to play a right-hand melody. So for example, okay. If you know what this song is, I'm not going to tell you what it is. Let me know in the comments if you know what you're hearing right now. So I'm going to use this song as a basis for the rest of this tutorial. So let's say you figure this out because you read the sheet music, or maybe you use your ears to figure this out, and you want to add in some left-hand chord patterns. Well, what can you do, right? So for this video to make sense, you obviously need to have some basic understanding of chords. So you want to find out what the chords are. You can either ask Mr. Google, or you can figure out by ear as well. So I'll tell you what the chords are in this video. It'll be the C, it'll be the G, it'll be the A minor, and the F. Okay, so you can do a really basic, melody plus these left-hand chords, just the straight triads like that. Sounds good. Very nice. It can be very beautiful. In this video, I want to show you 7 other ways to play left-hand chords. I've built them up in levels, so we're going to start with level 1 and finish at level 7. Now, level 1 is just playing the root note of the chords. So you can just play. Okay, so I was just playing the bass notes. So the C, the G, the A of the A minor, and then the F. Now, level 2 is where you play the root plus the 5th. Okay, so you do something like this. Quite nice. Okay, now level 3 is where you do the root, the 5th, and the root and the top. So I've listed this down as the 1, 5, and then 8. So you think about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's why this is called the 1, 5, and 8. this one, level 3, sense of kind of movement. And then, speaking of movement, we're going to go on to level 4, which is you're going to do. So I just call this a 1, 5, 8, 5. Okay, this has even more of a sense of that movement. To level 5 now. Level 5 is the 1, 5, and 10. This might be a bit of a stretch for you if you have really small hands, but it's so 1, 5, 10, 5, 1. So you need to do a bit of a wrist rotation. Okay. So let's go on to level 6 now. Level 6 is the 1, 5, and then the 8 plus the 10. So you've got to play that together. Alright? Okay, last but not least, we're going to move on to level 7. Level 7 is the 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. So you're going to do it like this. 1, 5, 8, and then using your index finger, go to the next one, and then your thumb with the last one. Really nice sounding one. Let's have a listen to this. And there you go, those are 7 levels of playing left-hand chords. There are actually so many other ways to play the left-hand chords, so if you want more tutorials on left-hand chords, let me know in the comments. Let me know also in the comments which of these ways of playing left-hand chords was your favorite, which one sounded the most beautiful to you. That's the end of this video. Remember to like and subscribe to this channel for more piano tutorials like this. I'll catch you in the next video.
Кто здесь? Я. Зачем ты убираешь-то? Зачем? Круто. Круто. Приятного.
Hi. In our first course on sight singing and sight reading, we tried to get the reading of pitch underway by simply almost singing and playing by numbers, thinking about which degree of the scale we might be dealing with, and getting an idea about moving in steps, in other words, just going from one note to one of its neighbouring notes, or by doing little skips, going from one note, missing out the next note, singing the next note, just so we could get some idea about reading the outline of the pitch and moving up and down in the right places, and getting some idea as to what these gaps between the notes might be about. And whether you're going to be following this course with the intention of really learning to sight sing on its own, or whether you're really interested in being able to sight read on an instrument, it's really good if you can read accurately the intervals between notes. If you're singing, if you can look at an interval between 2 notes and think, I can hear what the next note is, well, you'll be a reliable sight singer. If you're playing, if you can look at the interval and hear the next note in your head, then when you play that note, you can feel confident about it. Or if you play an incorrect note, you'll immediately hear that something's wrong, and preferably even be able to hear what's wrong with it. So I'm a great believer, even if you're sight reading on an instrument, that people should learn to sight sing, so you develop this ability to hear the next note. So we're going to get into a little bit more detail now on how we read these intervals, the distance between one note and the next, and really begin to get to grips with what those intervals actually sound like. So we need to start with a little bit of theory so we can understand what's going on here. So let's just start with a stave. And for the time being, we'll work in the treble clef. And we might as well start with C as our lower note. So this is how intervals work. If I have a C followed by a D, then this is what we call a second, because we count C as number 1, D as number 2. If I have a C followed by an E, then this is a third, simply because we count C as number 1, C, D, E, that's a third. So I'm sure you're getting the idea very quickly here. If I go C up to F, that's going to be a fourth. C, D, E, F. 1, 2, 3. The thing to remember is whatever the lower note is, you must count the lower note as number 1. Otherwise you get. Obviously going on from there, if I start with a C and this note, this is going to be a fifth. Why is that? Because C, D, E, F, G, that's my fifth. If I start with E. So that's how we determine the number of an interval: second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. And between any pair of notes, you can calculate the interval. Or even the other way around, this note followed. There's majors.
Что я здесь делаю? А это вот что такое? Это что такое? Это откуда берется у меня здесь вообще? Невинная душа. Не знаю. И чё? Ну ничего. А, ну надо, наверное, что, блокировать, что ли? Нет, надо выехать. Да. Ладно. Что хотим-то? Oh, thank you. Что там хотел? Ничего не хотел. Ну ладно. Почему бы нет? Почему бы да? Ну да, да, так это и есть специальность. Че, опять что ли программировать? Very nicely. Почему на паузе? Не беру. Да. Ну это есть. Ну вот это и было. А чего, в чем проблема-то?